Yes, I'm sorry. Can you guys get a little bit
ちょっ
down?
と少し下がってもらもいいですか。ちょっと来て、答え来て。向こう
Come and
も
answer
基
for a
礎
minute.
系のセイエン
Look
チンやってます。
beyond. Let's do a cheering team of the capital.
本題に入
I'm
りま
going
す。
to enter the
セイエ
main
ンチ
title.
ンやりますので、一般的にセイエンチンという形で言われていると思います。
I think it is generally said in the form of a cheering team. Okinawa's only words are a, yi, and wu. The words a and o come out in double words, but not in single sound.
沖縄に今ゴエクという地名がありますけど、沖縄の古い言葉で言うとな、
There is a place name of
Goek
Goik in Okinawa, but in the old words of Okinawa, it's not a gokak, it's a geek. So there was no way to be a and o.
出ますけど、ですから
I'll just come out when the words continue.
ここに来て初めて
So the word cheering team came here for the first time. In Okinawa, it's transmitted in words. So say the cheering team and say the voice luck team. Ivor said the word A. Don't just understand that. Please try the cheering team, okay? Here we go. Yes, thank you. Become a cheering team of A and O system. In fact, the movement that disappeared in Okinawa.
この中で実を言うともう沖縄では消えた動きとかそういうの
That kind of remains in my heart right now. Some Okinawan teachers almost stopped doing the zring. That's what Kenwa Manazuru was obsessed with, a bureaucrat of peace. I've been there for 3 years. The original 50 types of movement are beginner movement and intermediate movement. Advanced movement is different among the same people. Now in Okinawa, almost all the moves for beginners have disappeared. There's a little left now. We are no longer having a shoulder training session together. I will teach you how to use your shoulders, so I will break it down step by step. Let's try it 3 times. Yes, that's perfect. We don't usually stretch our shoulders, so please give it a try.
次まで。
はい。はい。
Yes, that's good
はい
enough.
結構です
Yes, it's fine.
今の
It's
これ
good.
3回繰り返しますね
Let's repeat this 3 times now. Among the Seienchin, the prime minister is the first one to open like this, right?
指導の方がこう開いてますよね。もともと沖縄でこう開く動きというのは沖縄でもともとないんで
Originally,
すよ。
the movement of opening in Okinawa is not originally there in Okinawa, but probably this is how the old teachers used to do it, all at once.
でこの形がおそらく指導料の中に残ってそれが開く
This
という
form
形で
probably remains in the
記載されたん
leader's
じゃないか
mind,
と
and
まあ
it
こ
is
れは
consciously
簡単
done
には言えないんです
in a way that it
で元来こ
opens.
れ外し
This
技
is
なんで
just
す
my opinion,
いわゆる
but
手
there's
ほ
no
ど
way
きで
to
す
say for sure.
手ほどきですから
Originally,
使われた
this
時
is a
下に下げる
technique
という
for
やり方があるんです
removing, so to
やっぱり
speak. It's
手は
guidance.
ですから
Because it's
相手の手
guidance,
を
when grabbed, there is no way to lower it down. It cannot be removed. Therefore, by grabbing the opponent's hand like this and moving down, it's impossible to open downwards. It's impossible. Therefore, when grabbed by the opponent, doing this can move the opponent. This is the one from Seienchin. Moreover, this is still for beginners. Advanced players never take this. If you grab it and take it with a pop, it will come off. I just did an eye closing, but when taken as a shoulder, it immediately goes into this.
でこれ右肩はこうなってますよね
The shoulder
こ
is
ちらを
like
取るな
this,
りこちらを取るなり
right? To take this one, to take this one, it indicates taking either one in the shoulder.
これが
This leads to the way of taking it for the first time.
準備体重の予備運動のですから
Warm up exercise for preparatory weight. So beginners should start with what they have now. If you try to rely on arm strength, when you get caught like this,
失敗しょうがないですから自分の体を下げると
it's completely
相手のこ
hopeless.
れ浮いちゃうんですよ
So when you
だからこ
lower
の
your body,
自分の体を
the
スーッと
opponents
これ
will
手に下げるという
float.
ことは
Lowering your
相
body
手を動かして
smoothly
自分が
means
椅子のこれ
lifting the
取れる
opponent
体勢
and
入
lowering
ってるんだっていう
yourself.
ことです
It means being in a position where you
そう
can
じゃない
always
とこの
take
技
this.
肩の意味がないですから
Otherwise, this technique's shoulder doesn't make
今の
sense.
私今日は
Let's learn
肩
that
を教えに来てな
part
くて
well.
あくまでも勉強
Well,
会
I'm not here to teach
そ
shoulders
この
right
ところ
now.
二人組になってちょっとやって
This is strictly a disassembly course. So let's have the pair over there try it out for a bit when you are grabbed by your partner. So please try the tendency of one hand with one hand, teacher. Anyone? Is there no one here? Pair up 2 by 2.
いやいやいるよ
No one? Here. Ah! Let's team up over here.
こっちで組んでやってそうそうそうそうやってみて
Yes, 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 give it a try. This is still too forceful. Is this okay? Taking it like this, right?
これが返すからいろんな技があるこれでも何でもできるここをしっかりと
If you don't return it here,
これは先ほどは
various techniques will be returned by this. With this, you can do anything. Securely take this place. Earlier, you took it with this move. In the Western town, it's the opposite when you say to take with the same hand. So at this time, while taking like this here, so even if you hold it with both hands or hold it by the handle, okay, if you do it like this, you can take it either way. Along the shoulder, when you do this, even if you are pushed,
鼻強く
こうなったでしょねでも私はこれ肩の通りしかやらないよって
そうそうそうでこうひねって
取ってみて
release. That's right, twist here. By twisting here, the opponent will be like this,
それではね相手逃げるはいいいですかよく見ていてこう取るでしょ
and then escape.
そうじゃない
Okay, watch carefully. Take it like this, because I'll take it from the bottom. If I don't take this spot, opposite, opposite.
いいですかほら
Let's take this. Is that okay? What kind of...
どんなそう崩しこうじゃないそうそうそうそうそう相手のこれを浮かし浮くでしょ
Break it like that. Yes. The opponent will float this, in that case like this. A little...
いいですか
これがね
形で形でいいですね
これをきちんとつく
これからこう返すね
相手に握られたらこう
こっちをね
Is it okay? Just the form. If the opponent escapes like this, yes, yes, yes.
もう手首が死んじゃうのねヒットポイントがそれでこう取れる
僕は肩と違う動きしてない
I'll die.
だから
So this training, I'm not moving my shoulders and legs. So when you enter the opponent's side, I'll catch you. So get into a thinking stance and move the opponent. Yes, yes, my hand is already floating, right? Yes, yes, yes. Like this, when you return like this, you see a gap here. Yes, yes, there's a gap here, right? So take this here. Yes, right there, like this. Yes, yes. If the opponent is strong, this form is also like this. It's safer to go in there. After all, yes, if they are weaker than you, just thrust your sword there. What can you do with a sword thrust? You have to escape with both hands. After all, I think I understand the current form to some extent. Surprisingly, the essence of the shoulder is conveyed in the correct form.
相手にこう今までね両手を掴まれたら自分が四股出しになってふっと上げれば相手
If you've caught hands of the opponent so far,
全部外せるんだということ
when I become a thinking
です
reed,
から
it means the opponent's body is
私
floating.
合気道とかでやったこ
It
とな
means
いから
that by
なんと
floating,
わからないんですけど
everything can be
相
removed.
手とかいう形があるん
Please
ですけど
understand
あ
that.
れと
So I have never done
ゴジュの
Aikido
と
or
の違い
anything
は
like that. I don't really
自
understand
分の体を下げ
anything.
ることによって相手
There
をさせる
seems to be a
っていうのが
form
この
called
セインチン
Aikiage.
そこのと
The
ころをこの
difference
中で理
between
解
that
できない
and
と
this
セイン
Goju-ryu
チンは
is that by
ただ
lowering
形
your
だけ
body, you
勝手に
lift
綺
the
麗な方だ
opponent.
なだけで終わっちゃうんです
That is the characteristic of this Seienchin. In that case, if you can't understand it among these, Seienchin is just a cool and beautiful appearance, but it ends with just that. However, what is included in that? To put it plainly, very lewd movements are included in this form, right? Let's try to understand that part a little here. For now, these three will end here. There's the next part. I think everyone can do this. Anyone can do this. Only here. This is it. This is also a technique for disarming. This is not a strike. Of course, this is a strike. What I wanted to say before was actually, it was this, right? Let's try just this part of the drawing hand. Just the part where the drawing hand enters.
ここでもいいんですけどこの動きです
What they are doing now is it's fine to use this against a thrust here too. This movement.
全部スキ
This
ー
is
ってなん
not
です
at all accepted in
で前
Okinawa
回
now.
こう聞かれた方分かると思うんですけど
It's all about scooping and
スク
receiving.
っていくなんてのは
Those who were asked in the previous lecture should understand. Scooping and receiving means letting the opponent come along. It's almost impossible to scoop and take them
肩
along.
の中のこの動き
At this stage, like now, you end up hitting your own
ここ
jaw.
でスクイ受けすれば
But the characteristic of being able to scoop and receive is to
で
stop.
これからふーっ
So
と
this
こう
movement in
返
the
すこと
shoulder,
それ
this
が
is the end.
今のこの部分
If you scoop it up here, that's why. You can easily turn it back from now on.
こちらあの手で
This leads to the technique of this part. Now it's fine to take it here.
肩はさあ指先で
It doesn't matter, even if it's that hand.
指で
The shoulder is
あの
pushed
ついて
with the
人を倒せる
fingertips.
先生方いらっしゃいますか
But are there really teachers who can defeat people by touching
目
them
と
with
か
their
喉が効くよ
fingers?
ねでも実際の人間の体っていうのは
Do you have
そんなに柔らかくない
confidence in
から
yourself?
指先で鍛えたってどう
It
に鍛え
works
た
on
って
eyes
ほとんど
and
できないん
throat,
ですよ
right?
ただ
But in
私
reality,
選手の
the human body is not that weak. No matter how much you train your fingertips, you can't do much. The teachings of my warrior, I was taught to create a trajectory with my fingers and then grip along the trajectory I created. So what I'm doing here in the shoulder is the actual form. Thrash around here like this, or strike with a middle or back fist, and the opponent will fall. The shoulder firmly extends all the way to the fingertips. In short, the essence of power is that you have to create a root. This is what we call nukite keiko in Aikido. In reality, nukite is not used within the concept of shiso-chen. For example, when I break it down in practice with someone, I grab onto all of this. The shoulders are firmly created from this movement. When you use it in this way. If you cannot understand this point, trying to uncover with your fingertips to uncover and pull it out. Is it an outrageous idea? That's how legends are born, right? If you can really do that, I would like to try it myself. But I have not yet come across that opportunity. It has not happened even once. I have never done it either. How to grip and things like that. If you can explain it clearly, that's fine. The scooping technique now is also the same. So the scooping technique, basically with both hands. Please understand that this is the form I did this. This does not temporarily incline, but it's the same as the form. It's okay to grip with both hands however you like. This movement is the same as the one we just did. When the opponent comes, it's like this in the shoulder. You're pulling like this, right? You're taking it like this. So what about this hand? The opponent grabs it. This is this hand actually taking it like this because it's being removed here. Taking this or with a bang, properly in the shoulder, entering up to the elbow rest. So I'm hardly moving anything other than my shoulder.
肩通りだとそのままふんといく。
If it follows the path of the shoulder, then just like that, it goes with a grunt, while pulling in this hand as it is, elbowing sharply. Of course, whether you lower your legs or not, it's fine. It's dropping inside the shoulder. Please understand that it's just about pulling this shoulder. That's fine too. If you grab with this hand, the opponent will receive even more damage. Pay close attention to that point. The initial movement you did just now, the way to grab doesn't change much. Please remember that. Well, now let's move on to the next, various techniques. Yes, it's what we call from now on, right? Let's try just that part. Try doing it within your shoulder.
ここのところよく見てください。これはよく言われるのが突きを両手で
Please
こ
look
う受けて
closely
と
at
いう
this
形で
part.
分解される。
This is often said, breaking down the technique of receiving a strike with both hands like this, or at places like with Professor Ichi Miyamoto. It's not about taking it and then striking back. It's not a mistake to take a form. That's fine. This is what is called a normal breakdown. I will do one more breakdown. No, still just a thrust at the moment of thrusting. This, you get hit with the elbow, this, and this. What shape will it take? When you do this, you go bon and move forward. I have taken the elbow and this, so I will strike with a point thrust as it is. If you take this as it is, I'll throw the opponent.
これから取っちゃうんです。
This is the breakdown when grabbed. I'm going to take it from now on. As it is it okay now? 1, 2, 3,
よろしいで
right?
すか。1、2、3ですよね。この軌道やったよね。1、軌道通り。
You did this trajectory, right? 1, just like the trajectory. But there is this part in the shoulder.
そこのところちょっと外しから懸垂、それから相手の手の捉えまで稽古してください。はい、相対してください。
So, from there, slightly deviate and pursue with the sword.
ここはちょっと
Practice until you grasp your opponent's hand. Please face each other. This part is a bit technically difficult.
さあ最初右の突きでここで受けてみましょうね。
Strike with a right punch first. Let's try to receive it here. Take it from the beginning. Please practice with this at the beginning. This is where you face the punch.
基本的に言うとこれがあると
Your shoulder is like this, right? Take it here. Basically, if you have this, you can produce this. Always receive what is written like this.
軌道を取るのこうね
This is fine, to follow the trajectory. Do you understand? Just working on the lower row. This is the initial way to remember.
次ここで覚えないといけない。ここで持ってポーズのここで捉えましょうね。
What you can't remember here next. Let's hold it here and grasp it here. Let's perceive it this way,
逆も何も取らないよ。
not taking anything back.
そうそうそうこの状態でこう変化する
Holding the elbow. Changing like this in this state. The power has been released, striking forward willingly while returning.
四股立ちで戻りながらこれを振って下段受けの
Returning in a sumo stance, swing this. Don't let go, don't let go. Stand in front of the right side and see.
右前でついてきたってことはこの状態横に入るよねねこの状態で
On the right side, if they come at you with a thrust, in this state you'll move sideways, right?
そう
If you do a shoulder grab in this state, it will be like this. You'll end up in a sumo stance. You'll end up in a sumo stance. It's not effective, right? It won't work like this.
握り方とか捉え方が違っちゃってるの。こうに来て何にもできない。これは何もないです。
Your grip and perception are different. Holding it like this, I can't do anything. There's nothing here, right? That's the trajectory.
これを取ったらここの方でここの方に力を
Remember to keep your shoulders firm. Once you take this, stay like this. Keep exerting your strength like this. Yes, yes, yes.
倒し方何種類もあるけど
片通り返し
Yes, 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 in the lower row.
このままでいく
There are many ways to knock down. If you interpret the shoulder grip, now the opponent will follow, right?
でしょ
In the end, if you defeat them like this, and the opponent grabs you, they will come like this, right? If you receive it, you will take an incredible reversal here, because you are doing this here.
受けとでは形が違う。
So assuming that you are being grabbed, when you receive it, the form is different. So when you receive the opening like this,
で握ってきたらもうちょっと痛いけどね。パンと打ってこのままこれ。
if they grab you, it will be a bit more painful. Hit pan and come this way. Yes.
こう取るでしょ。そのままこちらに取るでしょ。これも。
Like this, right? Take it to this side as it is. So if you start from the grip like this, then return it like this.
返してこうでそのままこれ逆と。ちょっと汗かいてちょっと私も滑るんだけど。
Just like that. With a ja, I'm sweating a bit too, so I might slip with a pan. If you do it like this, then it's already like this.
そうそう。だから肩でちゃんと叩いてるでしょ。
Yes, that's right. So you'll properly hit with your shoulder, right? So if you don't strike, then it becomes a test of strength now. If it's through the shoulder when it comes with a pan, I'll strike back. If I do that, the technique will be applied. Huh? What?
え？何？ああ。
The position and trajectory are moving. The position and trajectory are controlled by the grip. Basically, you take it in this kind of form. You take it in a way that holds it here. When you hold it, there's a hidden power I see. So with a pun, respond like this. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. That's why you do this, even with your shoulders. You have to firmly establish the root of power here. But don't just do it for show. If you straighten the muscles of power from now on, you can use this technique. For now, this is, you see, when you grab with your right hand, use this inner cane, grab it and do this here. I'll float you up. So if we do it at shoulder width, receive and strike with a bang, bring it like this, strike with a bang. Of course, you can also do it here, and you can also do it here. When doing it here, bring it to the other side. If we did it at shoulder width, the shoulder movement is like this to the opponent. Taking the trajectory of the lower level block, pull the trajectory strongly towards this direction. I only do it in the lower level block way. If you don't understand, if you don't have that tendency, you won't be able to do it forever. Once you understand the upper level block, it's all about the upper level. Yes, yes, yes. The trajectory of the lower level block, mastering the trajectory of the movement of that technique firmly. That's all there is to it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Yes, everyone. Please understand that there is also a left-right movement in the current motion. There is a left-right movement, right? So there is a left-right movement. And then basically it goes into this motion. Just a little bit there. Only the trajectory of the hand. Were you scared? So what on earth is this doing? Do any of you have teachers who are doing it with an understanding of 50? What is this place? This is the most difficult place. Rather than difficult, various methods overlap in various places. The teacher who does this says it's a lifting throw. Are there any teachers doing this? I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's okay to do that. But actually, for example, that thing we just did now, for example, if the movement is like this from the beginning, because the elbow is floating, I mentioned earlier that this is absolutely impossible to receive. It's not okay if the elbow is floating. So we take it here, here, here. If we take it like this from now on, we can redirect the opponent. Another thing that is really correct is the opponent comes like this. Once the teachers can receive this strike, please try to receive it as a test. It's not about receiving a strike like this. Even if you lower this, it will hit your chest when lowered in various ways. Actually, receiving this shape is like this. because it's entering in a reverse hand at this stage. If you do this, so disassembling here,
このものねですからここの分解はいわゆる
the so-called shape is in a form like now, rising up from here, the strike is coming.
ここからすり上がって
If you don't take it in this way,
隙をこういう形で取らないとあれもちろんここで肘で
of course, it's fine to hit with your elbow here. Please understand it in that way. This is left to all the instructors who practice. If you are going to practice, give it a try. Stand up for a moment. Try taking a stance. Just try taking a normal stance. It's fine to make a swing or anything. I will strike with this. I will stop right here.
これ何あれこの手何まず
This is it, this hand. Try to take it. I can't take it. I can't take it. So when it becomes this shape,
ですからこの形になった時はそうこれとこれとこれとが同時にこういう
at the same time as this and this and this, if you do it in this way, yes, yes, yes. So take it in the current shape of the main support now.
でそれでもって
And that's the end.
ここで相手を捉えながらバチャ
While
ッと
capturing the opponent here, just hit with the virtuar. So it's likely to come like this here. When it comes like this is what happens.
こう来た時はこうなんです
Enter like this.
はいで今こう入ってるからそのまま
For example, because it's entering like this, if you just do this, any person will fall. This is at the entrance dojo.
これは戸口道場では
This technique is already included in basic
基本練習
practice.
の中にもすでに
So what's important is not at a fixed point.
ですから大切なのは決まったここじゃなくてこの途中
But here in the middle
ここで受けないと
trajectory,
ダメ
you
だよ
have to
っていうことなんです
receive
ね
it here. When you receive it like this, while receiving with this hand and that hand, at a certain stage, this is to strike and break the opponent with a small hand. Please understand this point here. This is a bit, you can do it, but not too much. Well then, just a little. Please try it a bit. Let's see the way of grasping. Can you do it? Try it.
やってみて はいはいはい大体それで結構です
That's good enough. Mostly this thrust. This is important. You take it with this, I'll hit here.
これでこう取っちゃうんですねでこれで持ってここを打ちますからこうしてこれこのままそこのところで両手でですから
With both
ここで
hands.
決まったところじゃなくて
Not at the
この
point where it's
途中段階で
decided here.
受けないと
You have to receive it at this intermediate stage. Like this, you thrust, right? You enter like this with your shoulder.
こういうやつはい
Strictly speaking, first of all, tend to do this. You can't receive this without getting used to it, especially for those in karate, because they tend to only receive direct thrusts. The moment this kind of thrust comes, you can't do anything anymore. Receive it properly and tend to do so. Okay? Yes. Yes. Well then, with the current method, actually the next one coming,
それじゃですね今のこのやり方の方で実は次やってくるこれね半下もほぼ
I think I can almost understand how to receive this. So let's do it on the next shoulder, regarding this as well. As for the
これに
shoulder,
関しても肩としては次に対してこの上げを打つ
striking an upward hit is what it means to strike this muscle. So if you strike an upward hit, therefore if you perform this technique properly and then pull back, the opponent will crumble with a fist. This will enter while crumbling. So just, more importantly, after all, if the opponent seizes with this thrust like now, it enters like this as a shoulder. What is needed at this moment is this. If you counter with the exact same movement here, it means you just need to parry. If you can understand that, it's fine. Also, we're about to get into this soon. As for the ideology style, I want to pull my front leg back, but pulling back my front leg here, you pulled back your front leg, right? Even in the 50th move, there are two of these. One where you pull back your front leg, and then without pulling back your front leg, you hit the opponent from the back leg. There are two ways to go in, but which one is correct, I won't say. So when caught by the opponent, even if you pull the front legs, it won't work. But if you pull the hind legs and take them back, you can disrupt the opponent's posture just like that. Therefore, from this form, Is it going like this? The difference between going like this, basic, what is a releasing technique? As for the shoulder, it's exactly the same releasing technique. When the opponent grabs you, you release with this. Release while striking here. Once released, turn this hand sideways. By being in this position, it assumes that it will immediately lead to a thrust. If you practice in a way that allows this to fit in, it's fine. Also, because it's about that level, if you get into too many details, there won't be enough time. Another very important thing, it's what's known as kuryuke. Kuryuke is particularly for mid-level. It's an extremely superior way of receiving against this thrust. When the full contact practitioners receive it, they often do it in this form, which is an application of kuryuke. The essence of kuryuke is that it's not genuine unless it doesn't pass through when received. Therefore, the moment you receive it, striking the rib here is the proper way to use it. By using this properly and carrying it like this, if you carry it along the trajectory of kuryuke, the opponent will definitely fall. Let's practice these two things here firmly, receiving and elbow. Then try to defeat the opponent in this form. So, when the opponent comes along in this interval, or like this, they come along, right? So it's here. Press this with a snap, and it becomes like this. With a strike on the rib, it will also be like this for kuryuke. This firmly, the last one, so it's become impossible to interpret this. It's now in two stages, so the trajectory is like this, right? It will come. The best one is here. The character for blade. But will you attach this? Because you're following this. It can be normally received, but it's like asking how burrowing, so it becomes like this. It's not being properly received, right? That's why it's like this. It's not good to extend it. I don't understand it now. If you don't receive this, you'll open the pattern, right? Isn't this especially used in close combat? Basically, I mean in times like this. At this moment, you come in with a bang here. This part is the same. Yes, I'm sorry. Can you guys get a little bit down?